Well, let's finish things up. I mean, this has been very valuable. It's always nice to hear, the perspective from the other side of the room. As harmonica players, we try to get together and talk about stuff, and it's not often we get a chance to work with experienced musicians to help shape, our musicianship. So this is basically our opportunity to give harmonica players the ability to take some advice. So with that in mind, let's start with Rusty and go around the room. Give us 3 takeaways. What are 3 things you would like to see harmonica players as a general species work on?
I would like to see more harmonica players work on their singing, become better singers, because it just gives another dimension to their sound, and it kind of makes the harmonica even more special, I think. When the solo comes and whatnot. And then, like we spoke about earlier, I would like to see harmonica players learn another instrument, preferably like a guitar or piano, a chordal instrument, just to know more about music structure. And also, I like to see up-and-coming harp players know that it's okay to play less, and concentrate more on tone and dynamics and less on the notes and the phrases,
Playing musically. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Marty.
I've seen harmonica players get really, really frustrated. It's not only harmonica players, but because they go into a different room night after night, play different rooms, and they get really frustrated because they can't find the tone that they want. I get the same frustration sometimes out of my drums. Drums have tone, and I can tune things differently, and I might not be hearing enough body out of my snare, or it might not be a tom room, but it is a snare room, or you name it. The kick drum doesn't sound good, but the rest of it, sometimes that's just the way it goes. It is what it is, and I'm not saying give up on trying to find a good tone, but I'm convinced not all the good tone is in the equipment anyway. And I've heard talk about this growing up, about feel and tone and all these things, but it's absolutely true that the tone is not really in the equipment. It's in the fingers, or it's in the way you hit the drum, or it's in the way where the wind is coming from in the harp. It's tone is in you, and you got to find it. It's that might sound corny. Tone is in you, but it's totally like musically and physically true. I'm convinced of that. I've been traveling with different harmonica players all over the world for over a decade now, which to some guys is not even that long, but I've learned that don't get so frustrated. It might not be your night, that particular room. It's more about the energy you put into playing musically with everybody else on the bandstand. So find the tone without the equipment and play musically. And and if you're up there, you are the band leader. Yeah, that's good advice too. Learn to work on your voice so you have a different instrument, and just pay attention to your band, and remember we're watching you. If we're not watching you, then tell your band to watch you, and do something about it.
And don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. All right. RW.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff from Rusty and Marty, and I agree. And I like to hear harmonica players work on their vocals, and not necessarily all the time use the harmonica as the main instrument, but use it to color the music rather than to have to be out front playing solo after solo, and as a rhythm section member, like we said earlier, it's important for me to feel where the tempo is, and for the harp player to have good rhythm, and I think the volume, learning to play to the room like we were talking about, because when I go into a different room, I may have my amp sounding great one night, and the next night I walk in, the setting on my amp is exactly the same, and it sounds totally different. So you really have to learn how, and that comes with experience, to play to the room. it may be a big room in an empty house, and that makes everything real boomy. And so you have to learn how to adapt, I think, to different situations. So,
Very good.
yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was very helpful, and look forward to seeing you on the road. And next time you're out to see these guys perform, shake their hands, buy them a beverage of their choice, put a 20 in the tip jar, thank them for this valuable advice.
Thanks.
Thank you.